Hi there, this is Infinity, and today I'll show you the most unusual and unique people in the world you won't believe actually exist. Bartek Ostolowski. Take a look at this racetrack where the car performs the elements of drifting. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? But you can't call it anything out of the ordinary. Yes, but only if you didn't know that the driver who's at the wheel and drifts has no hands. You heard it right. This is how an armless driver drifts. His name is Bartek Ostolowski, and his lack of limbs doesn't stop him from being one of the top drifters in the world. In 2006, Bartek was in a terrible car accident. He was taken to the emergency room of a local hospital where doctors had to amputate both of the 20-year-old's arms to save his life. Many people in Bartek's shoes would have given up on their lives, but the incredibly determined Polish man had no intention of giving up. In 8 years, he learned to live a full life without his arms and made his dream come true, becoming a professional racer and first-class drifter. The Polish man drives his pimped-out Nissan as follows. Bartek uses his left leg to turn the steering wheel, his right leg to push the pedals, and he switches gears with a special prosthesis attached to his shoulder. What can I add? The guy deserves a standing ovation. Daniel Smith. How flexible are you? Maybe some of you can do the splits, or some of you can twist joints a lot more than average Joe. If so, then congratulations, you're really cool. With all due respect, hardly any of you can match Daniel Smith, the guy nicknamed the Rubber Boy. Smith is a multiple Guinness World Record holder and can do crazy things with his body. He can get in any box, fit through the whole of a tennis racket without much difficulty, and is able to curl into unbelievable knots and shapes. Looking at Daniel, you'd think that his body has no bones at all, and it's amazing. Doctors believe that Daniel's incredible flexibility was given to him from birth, but he developed it on his own to the maximum possible extent. I wonder if anyone can compete with the Rubber Boy in flexibility. Wang Gozhan. Take a look at this woman. She seems to be pregnant with 3, 4, or even 5 children at once, doesn't she? Personally, I thought so, but then I found out that Wang Gozhan from Jiangsu province of China is not pregnant. Her body is swollen to the abnormal size due to a mysterious disease. Gozhan claims that her belly weighs 20 kilograms and is continuously growing. The unknown disease prevents her from sleeping, walking, and caring for her sons and daughter. Gozhan's belly began growing about 3 years ago for unknown reasons. The inflammation was causing the woman pain, but after taking remedies prescribed by doctors, the pain's gone. One of the doctors who examined Wang told her that she had a benign tumor. A local hospital is ready to treat her. Preliminary estimates suggest the surgery will cost her approximately $5,000. The Chinese woman hopes to raise the necessary amount of money through donations. Hopefully, she'll succeed. Women with big bellies certainly stand out brightly, but who could stand out brighter than them? What about women with incredibly large breasts? When I was making this episode, I found this picture. Do you think it shows a woman with real breasts, or is the picture Photoshopped? Help me figure it out and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And in the end of the episode, I'll tell you who the official owner of the world's largest breast is. Stay tuned to learn about this record holder, as well as to see a real elf from Argentina. Take a look at the brightest and most colorful girl in the world and learn about other unusual people. Christina L. Tavera. Rapper 6ix9ine is often called a rainbow for his bright and eccentric appearance. But a much brighter and more unusual rainbow is a girl named Christina L. Tavera. The girl literally turned herself into a living rainbow. The girl decided to take such a step after moving from Singapore to the United States. The move affected Christina's mental health drastically. She fell into a deep depression and even spent some time in a mental hospital. At some point, Christina decided to transform herself to normalize her mental health, bringing more bright colors into her life. Colby Van Voorhees. Colby Van Voorhees was born in New York City with a rare genetic disorder that caused some of his bones to not develop properly and some to not develop at all. The guy's arms are limited only by underdeveloped hands that grow straight out of his shoulders. Colby was a little luckier with his legs. They're not as short, but they're still not properly developed. The guy has no knee joints. Not everyone could handle such a terrible plight, But Colby decided that the best way to deal with his condition was to make jokes about it. According to the guy, in that way, people around him would feel comfortable, which means he would feel comfortable with himself. Back in high school, Colby came up with a catchy nickname for himself, Armless Freak. The guy accepted himself early enough and also realized that he wanted to live his life the way he wanted, not the way he was forced to. The New Yorker enjoys making other people laugh, which he actively does on social media. There are over 200,000 people subscribed to the guy's TikTok. Followers like Colby's funny and self-ironic videos. The guy doesn't pay attention to his haters, doesn't feel sorry for himself, and doesn't like anyone feeling sorry for him. Besides, as he says, there are people in the world who are in even worse situations than he is. I think that the fact he admits it while suffering from such a serious disease makes people respect him even more. Sahana Khatun. Lewandowski-Lutz dysplasia is a very rare and extremely severe disease which turns a person into a tree. That is, literally, rough and thick warts appear on the human body, which are almost impossible to cure. New ones grow in place of the removed ones, and as a result, the skin begins to resemble the bark of a tree. Sahana Khatun from Bangladesh is one of the few people who have not been fortunate enough to get such a horrible disease. In 2017, news of Sahana went viral across Asia. She became the second person in the country with such a terrible disease. Previously, local doctors had only treated a guy named Abdul Bahadur. But while Abdul was lucky in some ways, Sahana's case was not so encouraging. It's known that her father took her away from the hospital after her first surgeries, saying that the warts had become even thicker and that he didn't believe in success. Nothing is known about Sahana since then. If her father continues to oppose the doctors, Sahana's fate could become truly terrible. Girdhar Vyas. One look at Girdhar Vyas, an Indian from Rajasthan, is enough to understand his peculiarity. This man has a very long mustache. It's so long that at first glance it's not even clear whether it's a mustache or a full-fledged beard. According to Vyas, by now his mustache had grown over 6 meters long. That's why he has to wrap it up in a special way to keep it from dragging on the ground. He's been growing his mustache since 1985, and he says he'll keep growing it till the end of his life. Vyas isn't frightened that the incredible hair makes his daily life difficult. Every week he has to go to the barber shop to put his mustache in order. Interestingly, Girdhar washes his mustache just once a year and he doesn't even use shampoo. Despite this interesting feature, Girdhar's desire to continue to grow a record-long mustache is not supported by all his relatives and friends. However, this doesn't upset the Indian himself. He's very popular. People often come to him wishing to see such an incredible mustache. Now, as promised, I'll tell you who holds the title of the woman with the biggest breasts in the world. She's Annie Hawkins Turner, a 64-year-old American woman, better known as Norma Stintz. The circumference of her incredible breasts is 260 meters, and the weight of her breasts is 45 kilograms. In 1999, she was put in the Guinness Book of World Records, and she holds the title since then. Impressed? If not, then I suggest you take a look at the final hero of this episode, who definitely knows how to evoke emotions. Luis Padrón. Elves do not exist in our world, and we all know it. Some people don't like this fact very much because many people adore these fantasy creatures. Among them is Luis Padrón, a guy who decided to become an elf himself, apparently so that there would be at least one authentic elf in the world. From the very childhood, this Argentinian liked fantastic creatures and tried to be like them. Luis dyed his hair and wore unusual clothes because of what he was often laughed at by his peers. At some point, Luis decided to make more serious changes and began to completely transform his appearance, spending a lot of money. He spent $12,000 for plastic surgery, which involved changing his hairline and making it look like Dracula's one. Among other things, Luis changed his eye color several times, had his skin whitened by laser, and underwent jaw and ear reshaping surgeries. That's all, guys. Which person from this episode struck you the most? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you liked the episode, subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and don't forget to stay notified of upcoming videos.